Know your why. So, one of the most important things we can do when we start any health journey, in fact, frankly, any journey at all, is to know exactly why we want to do what we want to do. What do we mean by that? Well, let me try and explain using my own story. So, I'm someone who's always had a very deep, I've always been interested in health, and I've always had a very deep sense of motivation and sort of I do things wholeheartedly or not at all. There's really only two gears with me. Either I'm going to do things 100% or I'm not going to do it at all, right? And looking back at my history, so in the beginning, why was I interested in prioritizing my health back in my university days and so on? Well, in the beginning, it was legitimately like just curiosity. So I had always suffered from asthma and other things, and I was just sort of curious as to what makes the body tick and what can we do to make to heal ourselves and so on. So I spent time in natural health food stores and other places like that. I talked with the naturopaths I could in Montreal to the extent that I could. And I was just curious, right? So in the beginning, it was like curiosity was my why. It was a pretty good why. So very, very soon after that, I became a vegan. And now suddenly my ideology was wrapped up. My political ideology, um, my health ideology, if there is such a thing, was wrapped up in an identity of being a sort of vegan, vegetarian oriented kind of person. And that was very much my why. And that was my why for a long, long, long time in terms of how I saw health, right? From about the age of 18, 19 till the age of about 35, maybe longer, maybe closer to 40. So that was that. And then when I reached the age of 40, it was very much about, it wasn't so much about me personally. So this is one thing that I want to emphasize is that different people are motivated by different whys. People have different reasons for doing what they do. And if you're the kind of person who can just say, look, I want to get my health on track, I want to optimize my health, great. But some people can't do that. And I think I was in that camp of people who couldn't do it. And what made me really get serious about my health was not my own health, it was the health of my family, looking at my partner, looking at my daughter, looking at my parents getting older and seeing what they were doing. So my why in the beginning, when I first started making these changes, although of course I could have done that, I had issues. My knees were a mess. My eyesight was going. My asthma was getting worse. My vitiligo was out of control. Like there were many reasons that I had that I should have had to do this work for myself, but that was not the motivation. That was not something that motivated me. What motivated me was doing it for the people around me, my friends, and not so much my friends as well. My best friend at that time got a cancer diagnosis. He's since passed. So yeah, I was doing it for my family, for my friends. Um, yeah. So when you make this journey, it is super important to spend some time and to understand why you are planning to do this. How will your life be better once you achieve these things? If you're looking even at something as simple as losing weight, losing a bit of weight, why are you doing that? Right? And again, there's no wrong answer here. If you're the kind of person who can motivate yourself just because you want to look good in your old jeans or whatever it is, fit into a dress you haven't worn for 10 years, hey, no more power to you. Some of us you don't find that enough of a motivating factor. So we have to find others. But it takes a level of self-knowledge. You can't lie to yourself in this process. You can't say, no, I want to be wear my, my wedding dress and that's not really what you want. Like in your heart of hearts, you know that you don't really care if you fit in the wedding dress or not. Like it's not going to work. That discrepancy is not going to work, and you're not going to be able to bridge that gap. So what I do with my clients is I urge everyone to spend a little bit of time, not a lot of time, a little bit of time, 5, 10 minutes a day, maybe less than that. Even 2 minutes a day. What is your why? Why are you doing what you're doing? And what is the gap? You have to understand. Where are you now, where do you want to be, and what motivates you to fill that gap, right? Once you achieve these things, what else are you getting out of life? Thinking through that question like every day is super important. And I'll say it's not just super important for health goals, it's super important for any goal. If you have career goals, if you have relationship goals, if you have whatever it may be, business goals, why? What is motivating you? What is going to change? What in your life is going to change? What will you have once you get that, whatever the other thing is, your health in this case, that you don't have now? Super important to understand those questions. Super important to ask those questions, super important to understand your own answers to those questions, and super important to spend some time wrestling with those questions every day is what I would advise. So leave in the comments below, what is your why? Why are you here? Why are you listening to me? Why are you interested in your own health? What are you going to do about your health when you're done listening to this talk? Let me know in the comments. I'd love to hear where everyone is on their own health journey. Thanks so much, and I'll see you in the next one.